lunacy. This is a state of being a lunatic, but it also goes into realms of insanity, but not in a technical sense. Another way to describe lunacy would be absurdity, folly, foolishness, idiocy, insanity, as mentioned before, and also mania. A lot of people that use the word lunacy describe someone that does something that is completely foolish or can lead to the realms of madness, like driving home in a storm or just quitting the job for no random reason just to quit them. Lunacy is a great word to describe DSP's streams. Every single time that he gets on his podcast, he just spouts off random nonsense and he tries to make sure that they stick, always checking his chat to make sure that his pignosis is working, but can at times go on some unhinged rants or just bring out a lot of salt and toxicity. This stream, however, was no different than the one yesterday, and ooh boy, it's so good to see all that salt.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Tell us, brother, tell us!
Snort, snort, snort.
Hogan. Snort, snort.
Now, to give you guys some perspective, all right, I have over 100 wins with Blanca, and my ranking is Platinum 3.
Uh-huh. So, essentially going to the lab for 10 minutes to learn Blanca, the anti-air, that's what he was trying to go for, made him a 3-star Platinum, and he won 100 matches with Blanca. Due to the fact that he was constantly spamming said move over and over and over again, and he kept throwing them constantly while pinning his opponent to the corner. But if he gets pinned to the corner, oh, no. That gameplay is invalid, and it shouldn't be counted.
Because it's funny, some people were like, oh, what about Master or Diamond level, Master level? When will you get to those levels? And I'm like, I don't know if I ever will.
No, because due to the fact that he'll play other games and he'll drop Street Fighter. He'll come back to it for, like, Friday night fights like he did last night, but we all know it's going to happen.
Because just think of it, 100 wins to hit Platinum 3. That means I probably need like another 100 wins to get to Diamond. And I probably need like 500 wins to get to Master.
I wonder how he came to this number. Like, I really want to know how he decided to look into this. Oh, no, that's right. He doesn't get into it because Game Trucker tracks it for him.
How long do you think it would take to play that much, right? And this is the perspective that a lot of people don't get, is that the people who are playing Street Fighter 6 right now competitively are playing it literally nonstop. It's all they're doing. It's all they're playing. They're not a variety content creator like me. They're not.
Okay, so you have to go back to the whole, they're not variety content creators like myself. They focus on Street Fighter, so that way they could get the rank of Master. But not me. I'm a content creator. It's like, Phil, you're not really much of a variety content creator at all because you provide no variety with your own shit. You want to talk shit about the ones that actually play Street Fighter competitively, trying to master themselves so they can go to a convention like EVO and fucking kick ass. That's something that you'll never do. You tried it one time, placed fourth, and never again.
Not doing a react show today. They're not playing Zelda tonight.
Let's see how that turns out for you, buddy.
They're not spending time away with their families. They're literally fucking sitting there playing Street Fighter nonstop.
How the fuck do you know they're sitting there playing Street Fighter nonstop? Most of these people that do it have families too. They have personal lives. Maximilian Dude has a personal life. And you just want to sit there and talk shit about these people that play Street Fighter nonstop. Same thing with Call of Duty players. Like, they have nothing better to do, just play this game over and over and over. But not you, the guy that sits in his office, does nothing with his wife except for once a fucking week, and just goes around playing video games and being a sore loser whenever you lose.
That's why they're in Diamond and Master. You know what I'm saying?
Because they want to perfect the art, something that you'll never do.
There you go. Dabhan says, I'm in Diamond for Ryu. He's all I played since it released. 700 matches.
How many of those were losses? How many of those were wins? They don't want to tell you because that would make them feel bad.
700.
Yes, we got that number, Phil. Move on.
To get to Diamond. And I'm 100 wins right now with Blanca.
Yeah, 100 wins that were just filled with spams and throws.
So, that's what I mean, like, I just,
For someone that claims that he was craving Street Fighter 6, and he actually did say this in his daily rap that he was craving it, even on his off-day tweet, he said he was craving it. Yet, he doesn't want to take the time or effort just to play it off-stream. It just shows that he does not give a shit about video games. All that he does is just goes to his office, turns on his stream, and then plays video games and claims that he enjoys them. Phil, if you really cared about video games like you said that you did, you would actually be playing games off-stream. Not just, oh, I'm going on my stream. Okay, I'm done. No more video games. Either that or your mommy wife has put you on a curfew.
I just don't know what else to say. You know, it is what it is. Will I ever reach those rankings? Doubtful. Really, if someone like me.
No, because you are not very good at the game because you want to constantly say it's Capcom's fault and it's clearly a skill issue.
Even someone who like me who wants to learn is trying to get better, and I told you guys I want to actively play more and focus in on these characters, even then it's doubtful that I'm ever going to hit those ranks, you know?
Because you don't want to put the time and effort into actually becoming a diamond or a master. It's just clear as day, you don't want to apply yourself. That's the reason why you're going to be down where you are in Street Fighter 6, and that's why you're down at level 1. Not even at level 1. Now you're at the tutorial level, and you can't get past that jump in Cuphead.
These people play that much. That's crazy. I know to say, like, wait, literally is this all that they're doing? Yeah. Yes.
No, that's not all that they're doing. They have a personal life outside of Street Fighter, Phil. But you want to put them in this category that they just do nothing with their life and just sit there like a mouth-drooling idiot and just play the game nonstop. Really has no idea what reality is. I don't even think he even knows what grass is.
Yes, this is all that they're doing. This is what I was telling you guys a few days ago. When people were like, oh, well, people are just try-harding the game because they think they're going to win the $1 million at Capcom Cup. Very few people will. You're talking people who have to be in a situation where everything is financed, paid off, and you could just sit there and play Street Fighter constantly. You could travel to in-person tournaments without having to worry about money or logistics. It just happens. And you know what I mean? Those are the people who have a chance.
Way to generalize everybody playing Street Fighter that actually are good at the game, Phil. Most of these people that do play Street Fighter for a while, they're playing with their friends. They're playing it to have fun. If they go up in the ranks, that's their prerogative. They can actually do whatever the fuck they want. They bought the game. They're having fun their own way. But you're generalizing them as a way to say, oh no, they're just practicing to go to the Capcom $1 million prize. That's all that they're caring for. Phil, have you ever heard of a thing called fun? It's clear that you don't know what that word is.
Normal people don't have a chance. These people, their life is Street Fighter right now. For 2 weeks, they're living and breathing Street Fighter. They got fucking Zangief chest hair stuck in their nose.
What the fuck are you... Why do you make these fucking comparisons / analogies? Oh, they got Zangief hair in their nose. Like, Phil, you're the one that has Zangief hair in the nose because you got thrown a lot going up against Zangief, and you got tossed around like a fucking ragdoll with Manon. How many times have you lost them, and then all of a sudden you went to live, oh, I'm doing better. Spam, 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 spammity spam. Drink that water. Chew it. There you go.
That's disgusting. But you understand what I'm saying.
If it was so disgusting, why the fuck did you say it?
That's how crazy this shit is. And it is what it is. It's just going to get tougher the further in we get into the game. I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
No, you're not, because you said that you're playing this game casually just to have fun, but you're playing with a competitive mindset. You always have been. It doesn't even matter what game that you're playing. You could be playing Call of Duty. You could be playing Diablo 4 and still play with a competitive mindset. Every time you die, oh, it's the game's fault. It's everyone's fault but my own.
Playing the game, enjoying it for what it is, trying to get better. I want to get better. I don't want to stay at a situation where I'm just playing crappy gameplay and I don't know what I'm doing. I actually want to get better.
If you want to get better at the game, do it off stream. Just play the game. You're craving for it, right? Like, you have like a hunger for it that you want to go back and play it. Go ahead and fucking play it. Get off stream. Like, play it with your wife. Learn with your wife. Teach your wife some things. Oh, right. You don't want to do anything with your wife unless it's watching movies on Max.
So I'm going to try. But don't expect the world. Don't expect that I'm going to hit Diamond and Master. I'm serious. Like, with the amount I play, I don't think so.
Yet, this is coming from a guy that claims to be a pro fighting game player. That he used to be this, and that was his title. When he won 4th place at EVO, he proclaimed himself as the best American player. Sorry to tell you this, Phil, but that title's been taken over by many, many people after you.
I'd be shocked if I hit Diamond with any character. I'm seriously. I don't think it's going to happen because I'm just not playing enough.
Because you don't want to apply yourself.
Don't bullshit a bullshitter.
I would have to be playing all day, every day. So, it is what it is, but I'm having a great time.
No, you're not. It's clear as day you're not having fun. And the only time you ever have fun is when you spam moves and you go up against players that have no idea what they're fucking doing and you win. Because that gloat comes out and you brag about being so good at the game when you're using scrub tactics to win.
All right, I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, all day long is Dalcine. I'm gonna study some videos tonight.
Even though he claims that he never does any research, he doesn't watch other people's videos on it, so he's just gonna like use spam tactics with Dulcium. He's like, okay, I'm gonna use this move a lot. Now that move looks too hard for me to master. Oh, that move looks good.
And see what I can learn and try to apply that to my game tomorrow and go from there.
Good luck. You don't really retain any information that you've received. Instead, you'll watch it, pretend that you know about it, go into it the next day, forget every single piece of information that you've just retained.
And I hope that you guys will, will enjoy.
No, the only time we'll ever enjoy it is if you become a sore loser and you bitch about the game dropping frames and the lag spikes, like you always claim to do. Remember how Phil went on that unhinged rant about Derich and told us to keep his name out of our fucking mouths, essentially going Will Smith on us? Well, apparently Phil talked about Derich yet again in this podcast, essentially going on and on and on about how people are so mean to Derich. And he came up with this theory, which is completely laughable. His theory behind it is that no one can touch him and that he has thick skin, so we're going after his followers and fans, even though that is not our prerogative at all, but he wants to think that we do so.
Yeah, Derek, just ignore the idiots. You don't have to ever give any... Seriously, I mean this now. I think I'm going to give everyone some great advice. All right?
I love how he had to, like, talk to Derich like it's his own son. It's like, no, Derich, you don't have to worry about anything. Oh, what's that? You were accused of harassing campsites and just going on there, like, harassing the performers? Oh, no, you didn't do any of that. It's just the bullies. They're just trying to get under your skin, Derich. Don't worry about it.
All right, everyone listen up. Everyone stop what you're doing. Let's all sit back here for a moment. In fact, here, I'm going to take the glasses off, too. I'm going to have a heartfelt moment.
I love how he immediately tries to tell people, stop what you're doing. This is important right now. Here, I'm taking off my glasses so that y'all can know that I'm being serious, you guys. This isn't an act, even though this is clearly a fucking act, and you're trying to, like, start a drama and get attention to yourself by making this shit.
With my audience here, all right?
Even though you don't give two shits about your goddamn audience.
So here's the deal. I have noticed an element on my streams recently, all right? Here's what it is. My trolls, slash haters, slash detractors, slash whatever the hell you want to call them, all right? I think they've finally come to a realization that all the nonsense that they've thrown at me doesn't work, okay? So rather than try to throw stuff at me, they seem to be redirecting their ire towards the viewers.
Okay, so two things that are wrong with this, and they're complete fucking bullshit. The first one, when he says that, oh, it doesn't work, they're trying to put their nonsense on me, it's not working. It does work, because there's a pinned message every single time that you stream. It tells people, hey, stop talking about the drama. Don't talk about the fucking drama. If you do, you'll be quote-unquote moderated out. So it does get a rise out of you. And every single time you see someone in the chat, you get a rise out of it and you start banning people. Like I said before, that unhinged rant that you did yesterday really proved that to everybody, that it gets under your skin. Even though you proclaim that you have thick skin, but that papery melted skin, it just shows that you cannot handle the drama or any sort of criticism or just negative attention. The second thing is that the whole thing about going after the viewers, sticking their ire onto the viewers, no, Phil, that's not true at all. You seem to admit, like, take everything that we do and you think, oh, we're just going after all the viewers and your supporters because we have nothing better to do. No, Phil. The reason why Derich is in the fucking limelight is because he's going on these campsites and just harassing the performers every single time with his stupid-ass questions and also telling them that their vagina tastes like mango ice cream or fucking tacos. Not only is he doing this shit to the point that he actually gets a cease and fucking desist from one of the managers, as well as the performers telling their ires about Derich and saying that they're terrified to do anything, he goes into your chat and constantly spams, to the point where your own fans are going to you with complaints about him, and you do nothing. You just sit there and go, let my son have his fun. He can have his fun. He supports me. He's done nothing wrong, even though he's done clearly everything wrong. Not only that, but some of your fans don't even want to be in there when Derich is there, because they don't like him. As soon as Derich leaves, they either come back, or they don't. Do you not see that Derich is a big fucking problem?
Okay. And what I've seen in recent weeks, in particular, I've seen an increase about this, is that they're trying to go after people in the chat. They're trying to go after supporters. They're trying to cause drama. And what they'll do is they do it in a way that doesn't necessarily outright look like it's an insult or look like it's something that's meant to break the rules, but it's still eats at you.
What he just said right there contradicts every single thing that he said. Every time we saw like the cherries, the mangoes, the tacos, that he said that he had no idea that it was a meme about Derich. This contradicted what he just said. So he knew about these memes. He knew about the cherries. He knew about the mangoes. He knew about the tacos. He even knew about the fucking pride flags. How that was going to be a quote-unquote negative meme on his chat. And that he thinks that all that's eating at you. Like, Phil, most people that spam those, they're either trying to have fun with it or they're trying to get a rise out of you. It's one of the two. Most of the time, you do see it and it gets moderated out quickly. Either by you or the fucking mods that you have. You know, your entourage, a pig no side toxicity.
So I'll give you some perspectives, all right? I'll be sitting here playing Street Fighter, and they well know that I cannot pay attention to the chat when I'm playing Street Fighter. And they'll come in here like a dozen of them at a time, and all of a sudden they'll start saying things like, oh, there's a troll. Look, they're trolling. This person's trolling this person. They're trolling that person. Trolling. And I'll look at the chat, and there's no trolling. It's just a bunch of people saying in a circle, oh, you're a detractor. You're a troll. You're trolling me. Why are you messing with me? Why are you harassing me? And I look at them like, but it's not happening.
Even though there's been evidence where you don't even pay attention to it at all. Final Fantasy V, you didn't really pay attention to it until they started spamming the pride flags. You look over and you're like looking at it in disbelief going, how did it go so wrong? Why couldn't any mods be here to moderate this so I don't have to see it? And you have to go in there and do all the work yourself, singing along that you're banning people. Same thing with Street Fighter. It's any game that you play. You don't pay any attention to it until you look over to see if you got a tip, and then, oh my god, all these fucking pride flags, cherries, mangoes, tacos, I have no idea what's going on. Oh, it must be negative. Ban.
It's just a bunch of people talking in a circle to derail the chat, you see? And they're doing.
How do you know this, Phil? How do you know that it's going to be like a constant circle, like a vicious little cycle of repeating itself over and over and over, trying to derail your chat? How do you really know this, Phil?
Doing it on purpose because they realize that now it annoys everyone. It annoys me if I look at the chat and all I see is people talking about trolls. It annoys the common viewer who's coming in just to watch the gameplay, and then they look at the chat. I can't even talk because everyone's just talking about fucking trolls.
No, Phil. Most of the people that come in, your newer viewers, they don't even know what's going on, and they're just in it for the ride. The only people that come to you are your supporting fans, the people that give you money, the people that have been recurring fans for like X amount of years. Those are the ones that go with you. It's like they're trolling, and you don't even believe them at all until you actually see it. Then you go, oh, they might be right, but I'm not going to say they're right. I'm just going to start banning people.
You see? This is a common thing they do. If you ever notice that suddenly the chat turns and everyone's saying exactly the same thing, it's because a restreamer is doing it. It's very simple.
What? You're going to go after detractors that restream your content and saying that they're doing it? No, Phil, they're not doing it at all. We're not sending people to go into the chat saying, okay, here's our covert ops. You need to go in there, pretend that you're a big, long-time fan of Phil, and then you gotta start spamming the cherries. Like, you think that this is a covert op, Phil? How fucking delusional do you have to be to think that this is real?
There's a restreamer who likely said something on the stream, and then these idiots come to the stream from the restreamer, and then they all want to regurgitate what just said something, some negative meme or some dumb shit.
Phil, most of the people that restream it, they're giving their insight, their own commentary of the bullshit that's spewing out of your mouth. They're not telling people, hey, go harass Phil. Instead, they're talking with the restreamer, agreeing with the restreamer's points. Same thing can be said about my video, that if I say something, they'll agree with my points or disagree with it. I like having that. You clearly don't.
So, for example, because Derich just brought it up, he says, you know, I'm upset because last week, people kept saying a certain video, I had nominated that video for DSP versus the internet. But I didn't nominate any videos. I lost my membership. I don't have a gifted membership over there anymore.
Bullshit. He still fucking nominated the video anyway. So he still did it. Derich is just making up lies to make himself look like the victim. You know, it's the same thing. Anyone that's a lifetime dent of Phil, they'll always repeat the same euphemisms that Phil does. Saying that, oh, I didn't do any of this. I did nothing wrong here, playing the victim like always. Or they'll just say multiple things that Phil has said in either tips or in comments of videos. They'll say the same thing over and over and over again, and we all know that it's just a denthead trying to get attention and clout.
Well, Derich, the reason they're doing it is to piss you off. You understand?
And it's also pissing you off, Phil. Like I said yesterday, that unhinged rant.
Like, that's why they're doing it. They know you didn't nominate the video, but they're trying to get your goat. And the thing is,
even though you did, just saying.
With these kind of people, the moment that you give them even a piece of recognition, to say, I acknowledge that you're saying this about me. That's what they wanted.
Phil, that's what you're doing every single time. Whenever you brought up a video where a detractor video was recommended to you, you knew that detractors are making fun of you or talking about you. You already know we exist because that video was recommended to you. So that's the same thing that you're doing over and over and over. If we're going to go by this logic, that's exactly what you're doing. You're giving detractors validation by saying this shit multiple times. And yet you're too dumb to see it. And it's beautiful.
That's exactly what they're looking for. They're looking to get your attention and to waste your time. And they get some kind of a real weird feeling of self-worth out of thinking, wow, I actually impacted someone today in a negative way. I wasted someone's time. I annoyed them.
Phil, you're just going off of bullshit here. You're just spewing it out to make yourself feel better. And you're trying to say, oh, they're making fun of me. Oh, they must be real losers because they have a sense of validation. Phil, I don't give a shit about your fucking validation. I don't even give a shit about your fucking feelings. The only thing that I care about is entertaining my audience. Not you, not your audience, and nobody else. And if it makes me feel good that an audience member of mine is entertained by what I'm doing, I feel good about it. I'm actually doing something. I'm making a difference to someone's life. You don't seem to get that. Instead, you want to put yourself high and fucking mighty, a paragon of existence, as you say, and you're trying to make yourself look like the higher hero here. When in reality, you're just bottom gutter level trash.
Actually feel like confirmation that they did something today. You know?
I don't ask for confirmation. I don't even ask for valid fucking dation, Phil. You're just spewing like toxic bullshit out of your ass again. And you're still going to keep doing it.
Understand? When you're a loser, this is what you do. You sit on the internet and you harass other people because you have nothing going on in your life for yourself. So you got to bring down others around you to feel good about yourself.
Is this like your go-to insult for the detractor community, that we're just losers with no time on our hands and we're trying to harass people to bring others down? Phil, we can say the same thing about you. You have done this for years. You will use somebody to your own leverage, and as soon as they're not around and they're no longer needed, you drop them. John Rambo, Howard, Leanna, your fucking family, all these people that have interacted with you and actually helped you, you drop them like a fucking rock. And it's like I said, it's like the crab mentality. You're crawling above, trying to get above everyone else and get out of the fucking bucket. That's you every single time.
This is one of the ultimate lowest forms of existence on planet Earth. Essentially, you have no existence. You don't have a life. You're a loser.
So me, that actually has a social life outside of this, I go home with a clear head and I don't even think about you whenever I'm done making these videos. I'm essentially the loser here. Even though you sit here on an everyday basis with us dancing around your fucking head, and every time that you're thinking about detractors, it hurts your ego. It hurts your pride. Every time you lose a match at Street Fighter 6, it hurts your pride. Every time you're not doing well in the game, it's someone else's fault. Over and over and over. And you only go out once a fucking week, and you call that validation to a good life. You have no idea what this is, Phil. You have no idea what life is. Instead, you want to say that your life on the internet is important when it really fucking isn't. You're essentially a nobody. Every time people have talked about you, you're a nobody. That's all that you ever will be. A toxic little nobody trying to look for validation that he did a good job today while people are giving you money to keep you on life support.
You just sit there wasting your life away instead of doing something productive.
Videos like these aren't productive, even though they clearly are a form of therapy. I don't understand this, Phil. What am I doing that's different from what you're doing? What you're doing is not very productive. You're just sitting there panhandling, trying to get money every single time. You'll make up excuses why you don't have money over and over and over again until someone feels sorry for you and tosses you a couple of bones. That's all that you want.
And this is what these people do. So you got to understand that. When you see that kind of behavior, when someone's trying to harass another chatter, when someone's trying to act, and I'm going to derail Phil's chat today and all this nonsense, that's what they're doing it for. You know, anytime someone contributes to my stream nicely, and then they oh shit, I just got harassed on my social media channels. Yeah, those are the biggest losers on the planet.
Phil, you're the one that banned a member who resubbed to you saying asshole. He wasn't even calling you an asshole. You still banned them because they're making fun of Derich. You do this a lot. Every time you receive a super chat, a tip, anything that is considered an insult to you, you automatically ban that person. You automatically cut them from your life because they're not agreeing with your echo chamber.
That's who they are. They literally have nothing going in their lives. They are way below any of us who are trying to have a productive, positive life. You have to understand that.
Phil, a lot of the detractors that you're making fun of, they actually have a life outside of it. Most of them are happily married, they have a job that they go home to, and they have kids. They have a lot of things going on with their life, and they have a lot more struggles than you do, which you don't seem to understand what a struggle is unless it slapped you in the fucking face. But we have lives outside of this shit. You don't. You dwell on the internet. You think that, oh, I'm making a difference when I make this chill, interactive, positive, meaningful content, when in reality you don't at all. Instead, it just makes you look like every single time that we pause a video, it makes us want to slap you in the face to give you a goddamn wake-up call.
But they're trying to bring us down into their toxic level. And the best way to go about it in life is to completely ignore them.
All this shit right here is just completely null and void. Because every single time that you're saying to ignore them, you're not ignoring them. If you would have ignored it, you wouldn't have brought this up. You wouldn't bring it up every single time you go onto your stream to not talk about the drama, or else you'll get kicked out. So what you're saying is complete other bullshit, and it's very hypocritical coming from you.
They don't exist.
Then why are you talking about us, Phil? If we don't exist, if we're just figments of your goddamn imagination, why are you talking about us?
Because that's the key to get rid of them. The moment you give them a little thing of recognition that, oh, they got my go, that's what they're looking for.
You're automatically giving us recognition every time you talk about us, Phil. Like right now. That's all that you're doing, and you don't even fucking realize it.
And so even mentioning that, oh, they're saying that I nominated a video and I didn't do it. You're giving them what they want, okay?
You're giving us what we want, Phil, and you don't even realize it, like I said.
Sitting in the chat and saying, I don't understand, why are people saying that I'm a detractor or a troll? I'm not. You gave them what they want, all right? That's the opposite of how to handle it. Just ignore it.
Even though you're doing the opposite of how to handle it, you're not ignoring it at all. Every single time you see it in the chat, you get a rise out of it, and you get so butthurt whenever your mods aren't doing anything about it. Either the mods aren't there because they're doing something in their own fucking lives, or they're just fucking around doing something else.
Literally just act like it doesn't exist. Because then, guess what? They don't exist.
Yeah, even though we'll still exist, Phil. We'll still be making videos, and we'll still be making comments, but you just want to sit there going, oh, they don't exist, just ignore them. Oh, what's that white noise coming into the foreground?
They're meaningless people. They don't even, you know what I mean? They add nothing to anyone's experience on planet Earth. They're just here to fucking take up space and breathe air and waste everything.
Says the person that thinks that he's making chill, positive, meaningful content every single day when he doesn't even realize that his own fucking life is meaningless. He has no purpose in life. He has no aspirations to grow and to become better. Instead, he wants to bring everyone else down with him to his level. That way, they can't enjoy anything happy or positive. So, Phil, take that whole fucking shit that you just spewed out of your mouth, shove it right back up your ass, and just drown all that salt back in your mouth, because nobody gives a fuck what comes out.
You know, they could be productive people if they actually stepped outside of their little troll zone and actually had a spark of intelligence in their fucking brain. You know, the synapse exploded in their brains. Like, oh, I could actually do something positive with my life. Let me get up from this toxic thing that I type on and go do something with my life. But some of them, sadly, they're not that smart.
Phil, you are the one that's not even that smart at all. You claim to be valedictorian in your Catholic school and that you know the world, you know how business works, but you don't. You spew out stupidity every single time. And you want to say that us detractors don't have a productive and meaningful life. It's like, Phil, do you not get that most of these detractors have better paying jobs than you do? That we don't sit around on the internet begging for money every single fucking day? Most of us are bosses. Some of us are retired and we have a happy life. We've done so good in our goddamn life that we're sitting pretty right now. The only one that's not sitting pretty is you, because you have to constantly worry about your next bill, which is actually another Hogan pull every time WWE Champions has another fucking event. That's all that you care about. You don't want to improve your life to make more money. You just want to sit there in your toxic little subspace and just think that what you're doing is important when it's not.
They think that that's the use of their life. So you play them no heed and you let them sit there in their troll pads, their troll caves doing their troll shit, and you just ignore them.
While you're sitting around in your man cave with your wires scattered all over the fucking place, the dust that's on your fucking cabinets and your fucking shelves, and all that cat shit that's in your fucking house that's accumulated over the fucking days and months that you have to go take to the dump every so often, and you think that what you're living in now is good. that it's productive, that it's what everyone aspires to be. Phil, what you're living in is not a good aspiration. This is why a lot of people said this is how you don't act like a human being. This is how you don't socialize. This is how you don't play. How do you think the whole detractor community started? It all started from this person right here being a toxic little shit to everybody and thinks that he's doing no wrong and that he's being a victim every single time.
Take a look at how many people have tried to bring me down in the last few months. Has it been the end of DSP gaming?
Hey, look at all the people that you try to take down because you didn't like what they had to say about you. Look at how many of those people that you tried to negatively affect. Look at those people. And then come back to be like, oh, look how many people try to affect me. It's like, Phil, you had karma come to you. And it wasn't even us that did it. It was all on you, baby. That's all it will ever be. What comes around goes around, motherfucker.
Is everything falling apart around here?
Yes, it is. You have a wife that doesn't really want to do jack shit with you, a cat that's going around pissing and shitting all over your fucking house, and you're too lazy to take care of them, and you have nothing to show for it at all.
No, actually things are going good, right?
Yeah, keep deluding yourself to believing that everything that you're doing is positive and actually a good part of your life, when it really isn't.
I'm reinvigorated for Street Fighter. I'm playing a bunch of high-profile new games. Everyone's having a good time on the streams.
Knowing you're going to drop most of these games in a blink of an eye when you not getting any contributions. Diablo 4 is on the chopping block. You try to put Zelda on the chopping block until people are like, where's Zelda? Where's Zelda? And you're like, fine, I guess I gotta give the people what they want, and you're still not having a good time. You're still not getting contributions from it.
We're not letting this shit bring me down.
Even though you're talking about us.
Fuck them. Fuck the white noise bullshit out there. Fuck
Even though you brought the white noise to the foreground and you're still talking about it.
the troll idiots. You know, no one cares about them.
Even though you clearly fucking care to talk about us.
Let them sit there in their bullshit areas. Oh, make fun of everyone because I have no content to offer anyone. Right? You ignore them.
You ignored them. You ignored them. Even though you're not doing that. You're not practicing what you preach, Phil.
Ignore the toxicity, okay? That's the best way. Because again, the absolute moment you give them a second of your time is the moment that they feel like they've got recognition or confirmation that what they were doing was valid.
Phil, what exactly are you doing? Because you're saying that you're not giving them any recognition, confirmation, or validation. You're doing it every single time you bring up detractor content. Doesn't matter if it's restreamers, people that make commentary videos about you, you're still giving us that validation. So thanks, Phil. I don't want your fucking recognition. I don't want your validation. I don't want your confirmation to know that I fucking exist. Take it, shove it up your ass, and go fuck off somewhere else.
So just ignore them completely, all right? That's the best way to go through it.
And now he has to look at his chat to make sure that his pignosis is working, to make sure that, hey guys, what I just said is true. Let's see if people are believing what I said. Oh, nope, I gotta ban somebody.
So I understand, like Derek, I know you were harassed last week. Literally ignore it. Say nothing. The moment you said something, you gave them what they wanted.
Hey, Phil, he did the same thing when he went over to a fucking campsite and harassed a performer. That performer said, hey, this person is terrifying me. I'm scared to do anything. So essentially, Derich got his validation from that performer that was terrified to do anything, even though she was reading out tips that her supporters were giving her and not him. So what does that tell you exactly, Phil?
Understand? So it's that simple.
If it's that simple, Phil, why don't you do it? Oh, right, you gotta talk about it, because if you don't, that tumor in your head will just keep throbbing more and more and more.
Right? Okay. I hope that's a lesson for everyone. Because, listen.
If it's such a big fucking lesson, why don't you implement it to your own life instead of putting your own bullshit onto other people?
It's hard, and you can't always do it, all right? I understand. You can't always do it. If someone just keeps prodding and prodding and prodding and prodding you, I get it. At some point, you're like, I gotta react.
Even though that's what you're doing, Phil. You've been prodded so fucking much, you're making a reaction about it because they hurt your poor son, Derich.
Right? I hear you, because it happens to me too. But
even though you're letting it affect you, like always, and that's never gonna fucking change. Even though you're claiming that you've changed, that part of you will never fucking change.
The vast majority of the time, if you can ignore it, that's the way to go about. Understand? Okay. What?
I actually fully agree with that clip. I let that play out a little bit more because that's essentially how I felt when he did all this shit. It's like a big old, what the fuck did I just watch? And what the fuck did I just hear come from his mouth? It's nothing productive, and it's just very hypocritical coming from him.
Radical Jaws did a super chat. He says, I play Splatoon with a friend. I've had my stream targeted by trolls. I ignore them. Don't worry about them. Yeah.
Again, it's not us doing it, Phil. You want us to think that it is, and that we're going after him, even though these people have accumulated their own trolls. That's the thing about being on the internet. It doesn't matter how long you've been on it. You'll have trolls coming to you. And it's not even talking about you. I've had trolls come to me that aren't even affiliated with this shit right here. It happens. Once you're on the internet, someone will try to troll you. Whenever it happened to me, ignored it. It's that simple. I could do that, but you can't.
Yeah, exactly. These idiots. They're just moronic people. Just ignore the nonsense. It goes away. I would.
Even though you don't ignore any of the goddamn nonsense, you're just bullshitting yourself to make yourself look like the bigger person. So while he goes on saying to ignore detractors and just ignore us because if you do so, it doesn't give us any validation, which, again, it's all bullshit, he decided to go on with his fucking DSP versus the internet bullshit react show. You know, because he thinks that it's so good and informative that whenever I give my perspective on things, people actually listen, when it's just him deadpan staring, goat laughing, and just regurgitating everything that he said on screen. But yeah, for some reason, someone gave him a detractor content video, and he actually reacted to it and actually liked it. Huh. Imagine that.
Well, the ring's heavy.
So this is an old video about me. This is...
Hey, the Butthead. I actually remember that guy. He made really good content. Same thing with Magnu. They actually made really good content. It was good clip channels. And I highly recommend those. Those are the OGs. Mad props to those people.
When people used to make these negative montages about me. The thing is, I don't really care. So let's watch it. This is it's 15 minutes. All right, we're not watching 15 minutes. Let's watch some of supposedly controller slams and more. Here we go.
Even though you did do that, Phil, because you would get so fucking mad that you slammed the fucking controller for that. It's like, really, Phil? Whenever this content was going around, you still were saying negative shit about it. And you even tried taking down videos on it. That video that you were trying to, like, defend yourself about the whole, I didn't take down any detractor content, and they showed all of those. Yeah, it just shows how hypocritical you are, because you're like, I don't care about these videos, but you clearly cared.
What? You missed, pal.
Eat my fucking asshole.
That was such a good clip. I like that shit. That was so good.
You missed, pal.
Fucking stupid.
Yes, Phil, that is something that you've did, and you're laughing at yourself. Something that you never do, but this might be all faked. Just saying.
Here we go. This is set like 7 years old, this video.
Yes, it was, Phil. And you still hate content like this.
What's funny is, in reality, I only ever broke one controller. And I remember specifically when it was a God of War game. I can't remember which one. But I got so pissed, I slammed it on my old table in Connecticut. I broke it. It was my red PlayStation 3 controller. I broke it. It was fucked up and never worked again.
But still, Phil, you still slammed down controllers. There was one time in fucking, I think it was Castlevania Lords of Shadow, you slammed it down so hard that it kept moving to the left or right multiple fucking times. And you slammed it again, get it to work. So, you're very destructive with your shit, Phil. You still are.
But outside of that, I never ever broke anything, so.
Oh my
Yes, you did break shit, Phil. Stop lying.
god, now I'm getting pissed. Fuck this guy.
To be a fighting game, I never would have expected I'd be angry.
Oh my god.
And you still are angry at it, Phil. But now you just mash on the buttons violently. Yeah, I could just tell that he's fake laughing it. Because anytime he fake laughs or over-exaggerates it, he'll just go in higher pitch.
Fucking cook his fucking ball.
To save y'all a lot of time and also your fucking sanity, I'm just going to skip ahead to where we actually get to the meat and potatoes of this part alone, due to the fact that I don't want anyone to try to contemplate something that they will regret later, just due to the fact that it's very annoying, but somebody had to do it. You're welcome.
This September is my 15-year anniversary as a content creator, September 2023.
Yay, your 15-year legacy in September. Whoa.
The first week of September, all right, what I would like to do is I would like to do a special event to celebrate my 15 years. And I'd like people to find stuff like that. Find stuff that are like the most funny moments of things I've done. And we're going to do a retrospective event where we'll watch them back together. Okay.
That is a terrible idea, Phil. Because you tried doing the whole thing with the This Is How You Don't plays with KO Gaming. Look how well that turned out. People had no idea what they were doing when they were editing those videos, gave them to you, and you're like, oh, this is good enough, this is so good, and people did not like them. Yet, they want to look at the OG ones, like Evil AJ's This Is How You Don't plays, and those are fucking better. 10 times fucking over. But yet, you still want to think, oh, this is going to be a good idea, guys. Like, no. This is a terrible idea, Phil. You're going to try to milk detractor content for your own benefit.
Okay? So it'll be a pretty cool special event. But I need people to find stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we can watch it together. So yeah, thanks. I mean, let's do that.
That's going to be just a terrible idea. Hey fans, give me content of myself from detractors that I fucking hate so I can milk the fucking content for all of its worth.
Son of a bitch. It's a fucking piece of shit.
Alright, that's enough. I can't take more than that. That's funny though. See,
I can't take any more of it. It's just double Phil laughing and it's just like toxic to the brain.
that's what I understand. Like I feel like a video like this is fine. This video is perfectly fine. It's funny. It highlights all silly moments of me being overly rage-filled.
No. That was not over-exaggerated. That was you. You did this shit, Phil. No over-exaggerated bullshit was there. You were that angry, and you still are. But you toned down the rage, and you're not slamming controllers on the fucking table or throwing it at a wall. But you still mash on your fucking fight pad to the point that those buttons are probably broken.
There's nothing harmful whatsoever in this video. It's a good one.
What? I'm sorry. Repeat what you just said.
Me being overly rage-filled.
Repeat that.
There's nothing harmful whatsoever in this video. It's a good one.
Oh my god, Phil. Let me give you a history lesson. When shit like this was out, you thought it was toxic and was like causing harm to your business, causing harm to your content, to your quote-unquote good name. And you wanted everybody to know that this was terrible, and you tried everything in your power to get videos like this taken down. Now you're going off saying, oh, it's not harmful at all. It's just me reacting badly, over-exaggeration. When in reality, Phil, you do not like this content at all. Stop lying to your audience saying that you like this shit, even though you don't, and you still want it taken down. Hell, why do you think you tried taking down content earlier this year?
Right? If only everyone on the internet was like this. Then
everyone on the internet was like this towards you, Phil. They made content like this, and you still found it harmful. You thought it was toxic. You thought that they were fucking idiots that needed to go seek help in a psych ward. That was you, and it's still you.
I wouldn't have the incredible amount of toxicity towards me. I think everyone would make fun of me for silly moments in gameplay or whatever.
Which they did, and you still hated it. I'm going back to that point. You still hated it, and you still fucking do. Even if we're trying to help you, you still hate us for some odd reason because it's harming your business. Whatever you say, motherfucker.
Right? But this is a respectfully done video. Good viewer count. They earned that. Good for them.
No, Phil. You still believe that they don't deserve any views anytime they make a video. You think that people like me don't deserve the views that I get. The subscriber count. You do not give two fucking shits about detractors at all. And now you're trying to save your own ass by saying, oh yeah, this was nicely done. Even though it's 6 years old, it's still nicely done. Even though that was the norm back in the fucking day. God fucking damn, the way that you always contradict yourself.
I like this video. More like this. Less with ridiculous, nonsensical, over-the-top conspiracy theory bullshit you made up.
Even though you're the one that's making conspiracy theories about detractors, Philip. You always do this every single time. You want to say that we're making conspiracy theories when we don't see this as a conspiracy. We see this as like an HBO Max show that we want to know what's going to happen next because it's entertaining to us. We like to make theories. They're fun theories. It's a nice brainstorming session, Phil. That's all that this is. But you still want to say that we're conspiracy theorists, that we should be like locked away somewhere to get our minds checked? You're the one that needs your mind checked, Phil.
About my personal life. More like this. Because I'm sure there's plenty of stuff you can highlight just like this that would be...
Also, Phil, you're the one that keeps bringing up shit in your own personal life. Should I bring up the wife's restraining order that you blabbed on the Slide Scrollers podcast? Do I need to bring up all the times that you said all things that were personal in your life? Leanna as well? How toxic you were to her even though she loved you with all of her heart and soul? Like, really, Phil? Shut the fuck up.
Be entertaining. Why can't you make more content like this? Sadly,
People have made content like this, Phil, and they still do. But you still find it toxic.
this is 7 years old.
6. 6 years old. Man, you can't do numbers well.
Right? Where are all these compilations, right?
Still around, Phil. They're still around.
Right? But this is the problem. Over the years, there used to be compilations like this, and then at one point they all changed into just insano, over-the-top, made-up bullshit.
Phil, you're still around. You tried to take down channels that did the same shit that they're doing right here. You still did it, Phil. Quit fucking lying.
About private shit that has nothing to do with my content. It's
Even though you brought up private shit in your own streams.
fucked up. So, all right, let's move on. That was a good video.
Yeah, please, let's move on from this. Let's just end the video now. The bottom line of this whole video is just to point out lunacy. From Phil saying that he'll never get the rank of Diamond or Master in Street Fighter because he won't apply himself, to him talking about Derich yet again and try to say that we can all just be ignored and that we won't exist, even though he's bringing us back into the foreground by still talking about us. It's just hypocrisy over hypocrisy to the point that Kettleton is just jumping up and down, knocking shit over in the next room. But now Phil wants to go off saying that he wants to do a react event, a retrospective event, mind you, where he's going to go over detractor content and to celebrate his 15 years of begging over the internet for that time. Phil, what you are doing is absolute stupidity. You kept saying for the longest time that detractor content was always toxic. It didn't matter if it was compilations like the one you saw from the Butthead to nowadays current content. You still will never fucking change, and you'll still find a way to make a profit off of everybody's videos, including Evil AJ, when he tried to make it a big event for him, even though Evil AJ did not give you permission to make that video. So Phil, quit fucking lying to your fans, quit fucking lying to the viewers, and just, for the love of God, don't make that event. It's just gonna make you look more and more worse by the minute. Just like how you try to defend Derich from the shit that he's done. Well, with that being said, we will end this video off with the beloved Phil prayer. Deliver us from the dents. Deliver us from the pay pigs. Deliver us from the pignosis. May we never become dented. May we never become beggars like Phil. For the love of God, let's not stoop to that level of lunacy that Phil just demonstrated today. Amen.